for today's show. Super excited, super excited. Yes, yes. So, yeah, go ahead and drop a comment about like what kinds of things you're excited to see. I have um, romance books that are also like supernaturally kind of. So it's like, you know, witches and like other supernatural beings, psychics and stuff, like having romances. And you know, also like there's mystery and fantasy and just lots of cool things. So um and I do have some that are considered like collections, as in like they're written by the same writer, and they are like part of a series of books of that like overarching story, I guess is where I'm going with that. So yeah. Um so I thought I would just start by showing some of the bags. Some of the bags. Oh my god. My brain. I haven't had enough coffee apparently at 6:30 p.m. So yeah, hello folks joining. I'm excited to be here. Good to see you. Good to see you. I have many delicious things to share with you today. So if you are here for the witchy romance, witchy smut, I'm the purveyor of fine goods. Hmm. I thought a good place to start would be the here. I'm gonna pin it. I'm gonna Nope, that's not the right button. I da, 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 da. Where are we here? Trying to pin something from my list, and I'm having issues because it's me. I don't know what the problem is. Here we go. No. Yes. Here we go. Pin item. Fabulous. Fabulous. I'm excited. So I thought a good place to start would be the mass market paperbacks. They're an excellent steal. And they're all the books are in fantastic condition. And there are so many delicious titles in this category. So yeah. Um, if you're excited, um, yeah, just drop some hearts in the chat. I like a chatty chat. I actually created some givvies today for folks, just and as folks are in and they are enjoying themselves, I will start running the givvies. So yeah, just drop some hearts in the chat. Let me know you're alive, y'all. And I'm gonna start just kind of showing what books are in this category, or I don't know, maybe I'll just run it. I'll run it and see what happens. Just feeling wild like that. Okay, so these are $4 starts. Thank you, Bead. I appreciate the enthusiasm because I'm here showing up for y'all, and I love to hear that you're not just hanging out with crickets in the chat. So, hooray! Welcome, welcome in. All right, so the first one I am going to run is called Would Be Witch. And again, all of these are like romance, fantasy. I guess it's romantasy. Is that the category? So it's like witches and supernatural folk getting it on and going on adventures together. So, um, Would Be Witch, it says the family magic seems to have skipped over Tammy. All she gets is oh all she gets in the way of the supernatural are a few untimely visits from the long dead, smart-mouthed family ghost Eddie. But when her locket, an heirloom that happens to hold Eddie's soul, is stolen in the midst of a town-wide crime spree, it's time for Tammy to find her inner witch. After a few bad experiences with her magic, Tammy turns to the only one who can help, the very rich and highly magical Bryn. He might have all the answers, but the locket isn't the only thing passed down in Tammy's family. She's also inherited a warning to stay with anyone named Lyons. So, Would Be Witch is up first. So let's run that auction. It is running now for 30 seconds. So if you want to read the story about Would Be Witch, now is your chance to bid and get that in your list. And I will be able to get all of these books out Well, I could ship them tomorrow, as early as tomorrow, so you'd get them by Christmas if you needed them for gifts. But yeah, this book is in excellent condition, and is sure to be a good read. So if you would like that, okay. Well, thanks for looking anyway. So next up, so I have, I think it's 3 books that are kind of all written for the same story arc. And it is by an author called Kim Harrison. And I will just run this 3 times. These are all in the same category. They're all for $4 starts. And they are thick, thick reads. And this is called Every Which Way But Dead. Da, da, da. So there's no witch in Cincinnati tougher, sexier, or more screwed up than the bounty hunter Rachel, who's already put her love life and her soul in dire jeopardy through her determined efforts to bring criminal night creatures to justice. Dun dun. So we have that one, and then the next one in the series, I believe, is it this one? Let me see. I looked all these up beforehand, and then, I mixed my books up. So I'm pretty sure this is it. The Good, the Bad, and the Undead. So again, this is about Rachel, the sexy independent bounty hunter, prowling the darkest shadows of downtown Cincinnati for criminal creatures of the night. And, getting it on. And A Fistful of Charms is the next one. So I'm going to run these concurrently. So if you are into Miss Kim Harrison and her sexy witch bounty hunter, now is your chance to bid. So let me run that. Start auction. All right, I got a 30-second run, and I'll say the first one in this run is going to be The Good, the Bad, and the Undead. So if you are interested in reading more about this sexy bounty hunter lady, now is your time to bid. So, yeah. It says she can handle the leather-clad vamps and even tangle with a cunning demon or two. Dun dun. Yeah. Also, if there's certain kinds of things that you would like to see, just let me know. Like I said, I have lots of different things. So, hi, Mr. Guy. Also, here is my companion, my guy, Mr. Phoenix. He is always very curious when I do live shows. So, yeah, actually, in my bin, I have a Road to 1K item that is Buy Phoenix a Treat, and that just kind of helps me get to 1K because I'm still a new seller. And Feeny here would love treats. He is a treat boy. So, yeah. All right. Well, how about we see some more books? Yes. Yes, Mr. Guy. Mr. Guy. Have more books. I has more books. Okay. So, next book up is called The Outlaw Demon Whales, and it is by Kim Harrison. It says, in the hollows where the natural and the supernatural coexist, not always peacefully, desperate times often call for unorthodox measures. But bounty hunter witch Rachel Morgan did the absolutely unthinkable to save the lives of her friends. She willingly trafficked in forbidden demon magic, and now her sins have come home to haunt her. As Rachel haunts for the truth behind a terrifying murder, the discovery of a shocking family, and the long-lost ancient knowledge she seeks resides in the demonic ever after. But there are some lines that should never be crossed, like the one Rachel Morgan stepping over again. Dun dun. All right. Oy. Where am I here? Okay. Next up, we have... Oh, right. I think I looked at this one already. Oh, Feeny. Why would you make this easier? Wait. I think we should read it. Good, bad, word. Okay. Okay, wait. I think I'm here next. Okay, so this one is A Fistful of Charms. Yeah. My goodness, mister. The evil night things that prowl Cincinnati despise witch and bounty hunter Rachel Morgan. Her new reputation for the dark arts is turning human and undead heads alike with the intent to possess. Let me see here. Where am I here? Possess, bed, and kill her. Not necessarily in that order. Now a mortal lover who abandoned Rachel for our Phoenix. God dang it. Mister, I gotta put you down. Ugh. Hi. You can't. No. I. Oh my goodness, mister. Okay. Let's see here. What else do I have? I have some Heather Graham. So this is Secrets in the Dark. This is from the Blackbird trilogy. And yeah, so it says so yes, it says over a century after Jack, a new Ripper is on the loose. There we go. I feel like this is the camera's funny. Anyways, see now it's too dark and I can't read. There we go. All right. Do I really have to hold it that high just to see it? I guess I do. I guess not sustainable. If I brought this in. There we go. Oh, there. Now I just stand up like that. Okay. I think I'll make this. Okay. Following in the footsteps of notorious serial killer Jack the Ripper, a killer is stalking the streets of London. The self-dubbed Ripper King strikes at night, leaving a trail of eviscerated bodies in his wake. Fresh off a case with potential ties to the recent rash of killings, FBI agents Della Hamilton and Mason Carter are all too familiar with a slayer set to rule with a lethal fist. And they'll stop at nothing to end his reign. The killer's MO may be nothing new, but his desire to be infamous makes him dangerous. Della and Mason know it's only a matter of time before their investigation emboldens this new Ripper, forcing the agents to work quickly before another woman winds up dead. Hello, folks. Welcome in. I am showing the dollar paperbacks I have up first. So if y'all are interested, so my paperbacks, well, all my books today are like witchy, fantasy, romantasy, supernatural, love, adventure stories, I guess. So yeah, if this is something you want to learn more about, drop some hearts in the comments. I have over 30 titles and they're all unique. I'm starting with these dollar mass paperbacks. So we could start with the dollar run if you want. And I probably have like, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 10 books in this category. So yeah, if you're interested in some dollar paperbacks, drop some hearts in the comments and I'll start this run. But yeah, this one is called Heather Graham, is by Heather Graham, called Secrets in the Dark. And it is a sort of story retelling, or maybe not necessarily a retelling, but like a story that's influenced by Jack the Ripper, the mass murderer in London in like the 1800s. So yeah, but it's from like this supernatural perspective, right? So yeah, if you're interested in these, just let me know. Again, this is Secrets in the Dark. I have a few titles by this author because I found that a lot of her books were in line with the romantasy kind of genre. And I've had folks request romance fantasy books. And when I decided to carry romantasy, I wanted things that were sort of in line with what I'm already interested in, which is like, witches and witchcraft and supernatural beings and things like that. So I'm like, this author seems to have books that are the perfect intersection of that. So, anyways, if you want me to do my dollar runs, drop some hearts in the comments and I will start running these paperbacks. So, yeah. But like I said, there's this one that's called Secrets in the Dark. I have a couple more by that author. One's called Dust to Dust. And so this is also, it says, let me see, suddenly and inexplicably possessed of superhuman strength, Scott finds himself allied with the enigmatic and alluring Melanie Reagan in a quest to find the mysterious oracle in hopes of averting the absolute destruction that threatens. Dun dun dun. So this one's called Dust to Dust. And all of these books are in really, really good condition. Most of them show like no wear at all, which is pretty amazing. And they are all secondhand books. So yeah. Ooh, geez. I'm shaking everything. Yeah, can I rotate this a bit? Maybe? Okay. So another one by Heather Graham is called The Stalking. And this is part of the Crew of Hunters. I have a couple of books from this series. If you are interested in reading more of, this line of books. It says, Crew of Hunters agent Andre Broussard has deep ties in New Orleans and Cajun country beyond. He knows that more than one monster has stalked the bayou. Has a deadly threat been resurrected, or does someone have a dark inspiration? So, yeah, this is again from the Crew of Hunters, and these are all dollar starts. So, that is from Heather Graham. And then I have two more from that Crew of Hunters series. One is called Sound of Darkness. So, if you are a series reader, you may appreciate being able to snag a bunch of books from the series. So again, this is Sound of Darkness. And it says, women are being taken in Virginia, and FBI agent Mark Gallagher is determined to put a stop to it. Certain he's closing in on the killer known as the Embracer, Mark is less than thrilled when he's partnered with rookie agent Colleen Law, worried she's a liability when there's so much at stake. So, yeah. Yeah. But of course, then he falls in love with her and they bone, because that's how these books are written. But it's still a fun journey. So, yeah. And then this is the last one I have from this Crew of Hunters, set of books. Hey, folks popping in. Yeah, so like I said, this is from the Crew of Hunters, and these are on my dollar runs, or dollar starts. So if you're interested in the paperbacks running, I have a bunch of things available. So this one is about, it says, all book editor Megan Law wants is to bury the memory of, here we go. Trying to find my camera here. Okay. Memory of her brutal kidnapping and move on with her life. So when her publisher asks her to spin her hellish experience into the next bestseller, Megan agrees only because it might help keep other women safe. So, keep other women safe. Then a mysterious, gruesome package arrives in the mail, a reminder that the nightmare isn't over just yet. Let's see if I can get this to turn around properly. So I'm kind of tired of, let's see here. It's audio mixer, virtual camera. Transform. Flip. Vertically. Nope, that's wrong. Transform. Okay, don't do that. Okay, let's try this again. Transform. Horizontal. Oh, hooray. That has been driving me crazy. Okay, back to it. Now things make sense. Okay, so Aura of the Night. FBI investigator Ragnar Johnson is running. I always find it funny when people's last names in books are Johnson that are like sex books because I'm 5 years old on the inside. Well, maybe 12. Anyways, Ragnar Johnson is running out of time. He knows in his gut there's more to the recent Embracer killings, and he needs Megan's help. Even with their rocky past behind them, working together now isn't going to be easy. But when things take a deadly turn, Megan and Ragnar discover a deep connection that they'll have to use because something is trying to tear them apart forever. So that is Aura of the Night. And again, this is part of the new Crew of Hunters novel series. So, again, I have a few books from this series available. All right. So, scooch. Okay. There we go. Still trying to. Maybe. There. No. Oh, hello. I am having like figuring out where my camera's going issues, but I'm okay now. So anyways, hello, welcome in. So let's talk about this book. It's called Would Be Witch, and it says, in the small town of Duval, Texas, the only thing that causes more trouble than gossip is magic. The family magic seems to have skipped over Tammy Jo Trask. Hello, welcome in. All she gets in the way of the supernatural are a few untimely visits from the long-dead, smart-mouthed family ghost Eddie. But when her locket, an heirloom that happens to hold Eddie's soul, is stolen in the midst of a town-wide crime spree, it's time for Tammy to find her inner witch. Hello, folks. I'm kind of showing my dollar runs right now, so if you want me to get those started, just drop some hearts in the comments, or in the chat anyways. I have a bunch of witchy romance, fantasy, romantasy kinds of books. And so right now I'm starting with my dollar paperbacks. So if you want me to start that auction, just let me know by dropping some hearts in the comments. Otherwise, I am reading the back of Would Be Witch to give you an idea of what this story could be about. It says, after a few bad experiences with her magic, Tammy turns to the only one who can help, the very rich and highly magical Bryn Lyons. He might have all the answers, but the locket isn't the only thing passed down in Tammy's family. She also inherited a warning to stay away from anyone named Lyons. Dun, dun, dun! Yeah. So some of the reviews say witty, sexy, and wildly imaginative and bewitchingly fantastic. Hi! How you doing, Keek? Yeah. I'm showing off my sexy witch romantasy. So yeah, for folks who want a sort of a fun, sexy read, I have a whole bunch of these running at $1. Awesome. I am excited. So yeah, I have this and I have 9 other titles in this category. So whenever folks want me to start the auction, I will be ready to do the run. So yeah, hello. So yes, and I do have some that are part of a series. Because I know when I'm reading a series that I like to not have to wait to go hunt the next book. And so if you're like me and you want folks to... Oh, thank you, Kiki, for promoting. I appreciate you, my dear. If y'all don't know, Kiki Mama, right there in the chat, she's got her own seller account, and she does like mid-range and designer bags. So and she does crystal shows. So I suggest following Kiki Mama, and I will highlight her in the chat. Let's see here. Kiki Mama 3. There we go. Boom. So I popped her up in the chat there. And so, yeah, I recommend going and following her if you're into crystal shows with cool, like random pulls, which I'm into, and I will help her occasionally with those, as well as designer purses because she's the bag lady too. So, anyways, I am here for books. So, if y'all followed for the crystals, right, like I'm telling you, but I have my dollar runs posted. I have 10, like I said, 10 of these. And they're all different titles. So this one's called Would Be Witch. And again, these are sort of witchy, romantic-y fantasy books. So if y'all are ready for me to do those runs, drop some hearts in the comments and I will start pulling up shit. Because I am here for you, babes. I took a lot of time finding some some sexy titles for y'all. So, all right, let's start that going. All right, start that going. You know what I mean. You know what to do. Do that thing, chicken wing. So we have Would Be Witch. And, oh, thank you, Kiki Mama, for the bid. I appreciate you. All right, chat. Let's see what you got. How about some sexy witch stories? Show the would-be witch some love. And I will show you some other titles. We have 10 seconds left. So, yeah. We have Would Be Witch, and by the author Kimberly Frost. All right, Kiki Mama, I will set this aside for you, and thank you so much. Okay, so like I was mentioning earlier, I have a couple of sets of things. And so next up, for this dollar run pull, I already have it pinned, right? I have it pinned. Okay, great. Is this series by Heather Graham. It's called New Crew of Hunters novels. So yes, these new crew of hunters, I have Aura of Night, Sound of Darkness, and The Stalking. Okay, and so these all follow a character. Let me see, Colleen Law, and it's it says everyone in the crew of hunters. Colleen has talents that extend beyond the usual investigative toolbox. She can hear the voices of the victims in her head, and they're telling her and Mark are near in uncovering the truth. And of course, because they are sexy witch stories, everybody gets laid and, some hijinks happen along the way. So how about we get started? I will start with The Stalking in this Heather Graham series. And and we'll just keep going from there. All right, chat. All right, starting that auction at 30 seconds. So first one up is The Stalking. That's part of this Crew of Hunters novel series. Again, the romance novels written by Heather Graham. And these paperbacks are in fantastic condition. I mean, the binding isn't even cracked. You don't see any wrinkling in here from it being like loved. Oh, thanks, Degena. I appreciate the bids. Nice. All right, so I will set The Stalking aside for you. And then I will run the next one in that Crew of Hunters novel series called Aura of Night. All right. And we're running. So dollar starts, and this is the next one in the Crew of Hunters series. Nice, nice. So yeah, this will certainly keep you warm at night. Who doesn't want a sexy supernatural love story, murder mystery? Love it, love it. All right, chat, let's get in that bidding. Come on, come on. All right, thank you, Tammy. Thank you for the bid. We still have another 10 seconds was added to the clock. So get on in there. Yeah, and these, like I said, excellent condition paperbacks, and they're perfect, perfect fun read to do in the winter, especially when to go outside. Just wrap up in a warm blanket and read yourself. Nice. All right, again, thank you again. All right, let's get that Sound of Darkness going. And we're starting the auction and run. So again, this is part of the last book I have for that Crew of Darkness set. So if you are wanting this, Sound of Darkness is for you. So yeah. Uh, yeah, it says tense interrogations turn dangerously personal when someone close to Colleen goes missing, luring the agents deep into the shadows of wooded rural Virginia, where nobody can hear them scream. Dun dun dun. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you for your first purchase. I appreciate you. Hooray, hooray. All right. I do have two other Heather Graham books. One is called Hey, Debbie. Good to see you dropping in. All right. So, in the dollar starts, we have we have two more Heather Graham books. One is called Secrets in the Dark, and this is from the Blackbird trilogy. So, let me get that started. Oh my goodness. And I am having issues. Ah. Okay. We can do this. Okay. There we go. And we're starting the auction. Boom. So yeah. Says the killer's MO may be nothing new, but his desire to be infamous makes him dangerous. Della and Mason know it's only a matter of time before their investigation emboldens this new Ripper. So this is sort of a telling of the Jack the Ripper story, only in sexy supernatural terms, which is really fun. So yeah, forcing the agents to work quickly before another woman winds up dead. Dun dun. All right. Awesome, Tammy. Awesome, awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I will add that to your stack. Hooray, hooray. And then, all right, the last one of Heather Graham's is called Dust to Dust. And says, this is the way the world ends. And this is part of the Prophecy series. This is book one of the series. So I will start that auction. And again, these are dollar starts. So get on in there. Yeah. It says, suddenly and inexplicably possessed of superhuman strength, Scott finds himself allied with the enigmatic and alluring Melanie Reagan in a quest to find the mysterious oracle in hopes of averting the absolute destruction that threatens. Dun dun dun! My head is full of all of those silly sounds. So, welcome to my nonsense. I'm here selling sexy witch books. So, thank you, Tammy. Oh my goodness. So many good reads for you. I'm excited. Okay. I have one more author in this dollar category. Her name is Kim Harrison, and she too writes sexy witchy books that are like murder, mystery, supernatural kinds of things. And so I believe a couple of them are part of a series. Dead Witch Walking. Yeah, I think that's these three. These two. Yeah. Okay, no, this one too. Okay, so these three books are part of. Oh, geez. Okay, these three books are part of the same storyline by written by Kim Harrison. So the first one is Every Which Way But Dead. That's this one. Do. And then I have The Good, the Bad, and the Undead, and A Fistful of Charms. So I will start with the first book, which is Every Which Way But Dead. And start auction. Again, these are dollar starts. All right. It says, there's no witch in Cincinnati tougher, sexier, and more screwed up than the bounty hunter Rachel Morgan. So all these books are a story about Rachel Morgan, who's already put her love life and her soul in dire jeopardy through her determined efforts to bring criminal night creatures to justice. Between runs, she has her hands full. Excuse me, folks. Has her hands full fending off the attentions of her blood-drinking partner. Got it. Keeping a deadly secret from her backup and resisting a hot new vamp suitor. Awesome. Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate you adding it to the pile. Hooray, hooray. Okay. Getting down to the last couple. All right, so this is the next one in that series. Okay, let's start that auction. Right. There you go, lovelies. All right. Says the evil night things that prowl Cincinnati despise the witch. Okay, Rachel Morgan. Says now a mortal lover who abandoned Rachel has returned, haunted by his secret past. I mean, who doesn't have a secret past, honestly? And there are those who covet what Nick possesses, savage beasts with the hollows and everyone in it if necessary. Forced to keep a low profile or eternally suffer the wrath of a vengeful demon. Nice. Awesome, Tammy. Love it, love it. Okay. And this is the last one in that Rachel Morgan series. It is called The Good, the Bad, and the Undead. So I will run that now for my dollar start. And then after this, I just have one more from Kim Harrison, but it is a different series. So yeah. All right, Tammy. It says she can handle the leather-clad vamps and even tangle with a cunning demon or two, but a serial killer who feeds on the experts in the most dangerous kind of black magic is definitely pressing the limits. Confronting an ancient, implacable evil is more than just child's play, and this time Rachel will be lucky to escape with her very soul. Awesome. Thank you, Tammy. All right. And then this is the last in the dollar run. So this again is by Kim Harrison. And let's get that started. This one is called The Outlaw of Demon Wales. The Outlaw Demon Wales. That's what it is. Not of Wales. They're not from Wales, probably. It says, in the hollows where the natural and the supernatural coexist, not always peacefully, desperate times often call for unorthodox measures. But bounty hunter witch Rachel Morgan, oh, this is still Rachel Morgan, okay, did the absolutely unthinkable to save the lives of her friends. All right. So this one didn't find a home, and that's okay. All right. So let's move on to, ooh, how about some soft covers? All right, let me pin that. So these are like the large, like standard softcover books. So these are all new authors. None of them are the ones I've shown. So we don't have Kim or Miss Heather Graham. So this is actually a set of like super smutty witchy books. One's called Fever and one's called Rush. So we have Rush and Fever, and they're by Maya Banks. And they're this is book 1 and 2 of the Breathless trilogy. So I am going to run these, and let's see here. I am going to 5 because I feel like it. All right. Confirm. All right, babes. Let's show up for these. All right, I'm going to start the auction. And so this is book 1 called Rush. And let's see here. It says Gabe has starred in Maya's fantasies more than once, ever since she was a teenager with a huge crush on her brother's best friend. So what if Gabe's 14 years older? Maya knows he's way out of her league, but her attraction has only grown stronger with time. She's an adult now, and there's no reason not to act on her most secret desires. As Gabe pulls her into his provocative world. Oh, okay. So no love for Rush, and that's okay. But thank you for looking. So this is book 2 of that series. So let's see here. Start auction. Bam. Okay, so Fever. Let's see here. When they meet Bethany, Jace begins to feel things he's never experienced before. Jealousy and a powerful obsession that threatens him, overwhelms him, and excites him beyond control. Jace isn't sharing Bethany with anyone. He's determined to be the only man in her life, and it's jeopardizing a lifelong friendship with Ash. Bethany will be his and his alone, even if it means turning his back on his best friend. Okay. Thanks for looking at that. More exciting titles. This one is called Shadow Falls: The Beginning, and it is two books in one. It's Born at Midnight and Awake at Dawn by C.C. Hunter. So, and this is, I mean, it's two books, right? So it is a thick beast. But on the plus side, you don't have to worry about storing two books or losing the other book before you can read it, which is always super annoying for me. Um, so yeah, all right. So this one, it says, one night Kylie Galen finds herself at the wrong party with the wrong people and it changes her life forever. Her mother ships her off to Shadow Falls, a camp for troubled teens. But it quickly becomes clear that the kids of Shadow Falls are far from ordinary. They're supernatural, learning to harness their powers, control their magic, and live in the normal world. Kylie's never felt normal, but surely she doesn't belong here with a bunch of paranormal freaks either. Or does she? If life weren't complicated enough, enter Derek and Lucas. Derek's half Fae, who's determined to be her boyfriend. Hey, where's the thing? There we go. Anyways, so we got Fae, and we got magic, and we have love triangles. Let's start that auction. All right, and again, this is a 2-in-1 book, right? So we have Born at Midnight and Awake at Dawn. So if you are looking for a tasty read, it is a $4 start, and I am looking for a new home for this babe. So yeah. And I'm sorry for all the drunk driving here. Okay. Putting things in the frame is a constant challenge, but I'm working on it. All right, chat. Are you awake? Are folks here? Are you showing up for this? Let me see some hearts. Maybe if I run a little givey, you all wake up. I'm running a givey for, hey, Debbie. So for my followers, so if you follow me, you can enter in the givey and you'll get a little freebie from me. Hi, Disco Bread. It's good to see you. Hooray, hooray. So yeah, don't forget to get in. Where is it? There it is. Get in that giveaway. Make sure you follow and, pin my future sales. And otherwise, yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going. So the next one, hey, Indy. So while that givey is running, I'm going to talk about the next soft cover romance pull. So this one is called Roses, and it is by Layla. Meacham. We'll say Meacham. It says, like Gone with the Wind, as gloriously entertaining as it is vast. It's a spanning the 20th century. This is the tale of the powerful founding families of Butker, Texas, and how their histories intertwined over three intriguing generations. Cotton tycoon Mary Tolliver and timber magnate Percy Warwick fell in love, but because of their stubborn natures and Mary's devotion to her family's land, they unwisely never wed. Now they must deal with the deceit, secrets, and tragedies that surround them, and the poignant loss of what might have been, not only for themselves, but also for the children who follow them. So this one again is called Roses. It is a $4 start and a hefty, hefty girl. So let's start that auction. Here we go. And this is a $4 start. So if you are interested in Roses, which kind of has a Gone with the Wind type romancy feel, this girl's for you. So yeah, don't miss out. And also, if there are kinds of romancy books that you are looking for, I do also have a mixed genre stack of books that is a little witchy, a little murder mystery. Just let me know. Let me know. Okay. We'll put Roses down. Okay. Next one is called Echoes Among the Stones. And so Aggie's career is unceremoniously ended by her own mistake. She finds herself traveling to Wisconsin, where I live. That's hilarious. Where her grandmother, Mumsy, lives alone in her vintage, though very outdated home. Aggie didn't plan for how eccentric Mumsy has become, obsessing over an old, unresolved crime scene, even going so far as to recreate it in a dollhouse. What the hell? So, yeah. If folks are spicy or sprayed edge, I am not sure what sprayed edge means, but I do have in this $4 category a set of books that it's 2 books of the Breathless trilogy. One is called Fever, and the other one is called Rush. It's like colored edges. Oh, colored edges. No, I don't think so. No, I think all the edges are white or cream, depending on the kind of paper that it was printed on. But yeah. Otherwise, this set here is, from what I have ascertained, kind of very smutty, sexy sort of trilogy of books. So if that is something you're interested in, I can certainly run these. Otherwise, I do have a couple other romantasy books. One is called The Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater. I apologize if that is anyone's last name because I am doing the best I can. Does not come with pronunciation guides. Anyways, this it looks like it is an honor book of some kind, but it has like a cool little seal on it. It's in great condition. I don't even think anyone's ever read it because it's got, I don't know what the confetti was, but I dug it. Whatever that was. I like confetti. Yeah. So yeah, Scorpio Races. I'm on the hooray! Well, congratulations, Gems. Good for you. And so watch for that little prize to arrive in the mail. I'm excited for you. I am so unfamiliar with how things are working that I'm constantly surprised. Oh, I have a bunch of cool like witchy stickers, so you'll get it in a little envelope. So, that is my givey. And they're like, witchy and like metaphysically kind of aligned. And I do have some that are more book aligned. So yeah, things on brand, that kind of thing. So yeah, Scorpio Races. So it happens at the start of every November. The Scorpio Races. Riders attempt to keep hold of their water horses long enough to make it to the finish line. Some riders live, others die. At age 19, Sean Kendrick is the returning champion. He is a young man of few words, and if he has any fears, he keeps them buried deep where no one else can see them. Puck is different. She never meant to ride the Scorpio Races, but fate hasn't given her much choice, so she enters the competition. The first girl to ever do so, she is in no way prepared for what is going to happen. So, if you are interested in the Scorpio Races, I am going to run that now. It is a $4 start auction, and I'll let it run for 30 seconds. So yeah, the Scorpio Races. And like I said, this is basically, it is like new, honestly. The binding hasn't even been cracked, it looks like. There's no sort of like read marks, but I was super intrigued, partly because, Scorpio, and I'm kind of an astrology nerd, but also I like a good story of just like supernatural race, like animal things. Anyways, I thought could be fun, but we will set that aside for now. Next one up is Daughter of the Siren Queen. This one is a lady pirate captain who falls in love while on an adventure, and I believe her love interest is someone in her crew that works under her, but also, works under her. Just saying. So if you are into Daughter of the Siren Queen, feel free to bid now. Again, $4 start. And again, this book is in fantastic condition. You can tell, it doesn't have any call outs necessarily. And yeah, so this book I chose to add to the set because I like strong female leads. And this has just main character vibes for the lady in the story. So, last one in the soft cover category is called A Constellation of Vital Phenomenon by Anthony Mara. And it says, a flash in the heavens that makes you look up and believe in miracles. Yeah. Says, in a small rural village in Chechnya, 8-year-old Hava watches from the woods as Russian soldiers abduct her father in the middle of the night and then set fire to her home. When their lifelong neighbor, Ahmed, finds Hava hiding in the forest with a strange blue suitcase, he makes a decision that will forever change their lives. He will seek refuge at the abandoned hospital where the sole remaining doctor, Sonia Rabina, treats the wounded. For Sonia, the arrival of Ahmed and Hava is an unwelcome surprise. Weary and overburdened, she has no desire to take on additional risk and responsibility. But over the course of 5 extraordinary days, Sonia's world will shift on its axis and reveal the intricate pattern of connections that weaves together the pasts of these 3 unlikely companions and unexpectedly decides their fate. A story of the transcendent power of love in wartime, A Constellation of Vital Phenomena, is a work of sweeping breadth, profound compassion, and lasting significance. Holy cow. Honestly. All right. So let's start that auction. And yeah, A Constellation of Vital Phenomena. Again, it's sort of a wartime love story, overcoming challenges and, finding. So yeah, if that is a story that resonates with you, this book is in gorgeous condition. It does have a little scuff wear along the edge of the binding, but otherwise it's still in fabulous condition and certainly worth the $4. So, all right. You guys want to see something different? I have some hardcovers up next. And these are all brand new artists, brand new writers that I have not shown yet. I'd like to see if the chat's alive. And, still with me. Drop some hearts in the comments. I'd love to, at least hear from you and see that you're enjoying yourself. Because, I'm here for y'all. So the next one is by Amanda Quick. It's called The Perfect Poison, an Arcane Society novel. There it is. The Perfect Poison. And this is a hardcover. So let me I made an offer on the Tree of Life Chalice. Oh, fantastic. I will take a look at that. So I'm going to pin this item. I'm going to start my hardcovers at 8. And I have 4 different hardcovers available. I don't know if I can look at my offers while I am on the live, but I will look at your offer as soon as I end the show today, Disco Bread, okay? So I will keep you in mind. All right, so The Perfect Poison. It says, in her suspenseful new novel, New York Times bestselling author Amanda Quick delves into the underworld of passion, greed, and the powers that lie beyond this realm. Plagued by rumors that she poisoned her fiancé, Lucinda Bromley manages to live on the fringes of Victoria, tending her beloved plants and occasionally consulting on a murder investigation. For the notorious botanist possesses a unique talent. She can detect almost any type of poison, especially those that have their origins in the botanical kingdom. But the death of a lord has shaken Lucinda to her core. At the murder scene, she picks up traces of poison derived from a very rare species of fern. So rare, in fact, that only one specimen exists in all of England, and it was stolen from her conservatory just last month. To keep her name out of the investigation and to find the murderer, Lucinda hires a fellow Arcane Society member, Caleb. Caleb Jones runs a psychical investigation, so like psychic but psychical investigation agency. A descendant of the founder of the society, he is very good protecting its secrets and frighteningly good getting at the truth. Immediately, Lucinda senses both raw power and undeniable intensity in the imposing man. So, we get some like sort of vintage romance murder mystery from The Perfect Poison. So I'm going to start this. The hardcovers are starting at $8, and I'm going to start that auction now. So if you want to hear about The Perfect Poison, if sort of a murder mystery surrounding with like botanists and sort of old-timey England, if that's sort of your jam, The Perfect Poison may be for you. So yeah. And again, this book is in excellent condition. The dust jacket here is in great condition, which, sometimes when you find, secondhand hardcovers, the book jacket is the first thing to get torn to hell. And so, yeah, it looks beautiful. Anyways, moving on. Thank you for looking at that, by the way. The next one's by M.J. Rose, and it's called The Library of Light and Shadow. Look at this. So gorgeous. And it's got like some really cool, let's see if I can get this in the camera shot. Here we go. It has some really beautiful like esoterica on the cover. So there you go. And it says, in the wake of the Great War, the glamour of 1925 Manhattan shines like a beacon for high society, desperate to keep their gaze firmly fixed to the future. But Delphine de Plessis sees more than most. At a time in her career when she could easily be unknown and penniless, she has gained notoriety for her stunning shadow portraits that frequently expose her subjects' most scandalous secrets. So, if you want to learn more, check out The Library of Light and Shadow. And I will run this hardcover, and starts at $8. And there we go. And again, it's in beautiful condition. And the dust jacket itself is like in really great condition. The pages themselves are also in really great condition. Ooh, that is really pretty, by the way. This is really pretty, like esoterica on the inner cover. So yeah, if you'd like to learn more and read more from MJ Rose, I have this hardcover available. There we go. Perfect. Well, thank you for taking a look at that. I have 2 more hardcovers to go. One is called Girls of Storm and Shadow. And there you go. And so this one, it says, we escaped in the dark of the night, believing we would now lead our lives in the light of the sun. But we discovered that we could not truly be free, not until those who imprisoned us were stopped. We may not be paper girls anymore, but we can still spark fire, and now we have a whole world to set ablaze. So, Girls of Storm and Shadow. And I will start this auction. There we go. Yeah. So let's see here. It says, the girls of paper and fire did the impossible. They escaped. But out in the unforgiving wild, hunted like animals, they discover that the most terrifying prisons have no walls. To be free, they must destroy a king who refuses to die. A storm is coming. Okay, well, thanks for looking at that. And then I have one more by Jane Ann Krentz called Light in Shadow. Okay, that is what that looks like. All right. So it says, called one of the hottest writers in romance today by USA Today and a master of her craft by the Seattle Times, Jane Ann Krentz is back with her most imaginative, fast-paced story yet. A tricky tale of secret identities, double crosses, and a perfect passion between two people who, in a perfect world, would never have met. So, yep, there we go. Zoe Luce is a successful interior designer in the Arizona town of Whispering Springs, who has developed a useful knack for giving her clients exactly what they want, usually to completely redesign their homes, to help them forget the past and start anew, but sometimes not even she can meet a client's demands. And Zoe has learned the hard way that there are some things that can't be covered up with a coat of paint. When she senses that one of her clients may be hiding a dark secret, she enables PI Ethan Truex to find the truth. But Ethan's exquisite detection skills are starting to backfire on Zoe, so she never wanted to let him find out about her former life. She never wanted to reveal her powerful, inexplicable psychic gift. She never wanted him to know that Zoe Luce doesn't really exist. She never wanted to fall in love with him. Dun dun dun! So that is Light in Shadow. So yeah. All right, all right. And then I can run that. Start auction. Okay. I have Light in Shadow running right now. It has an $8 start. It is in excellent condition. A hardcover book. Let me see. When was this printed? This is from 2003. That's funny. That was the year I graduated high school. A million years ago. But, these kinds of things are timeless, right? All right. Perfect. All right. Well, I think, how long have I been running this? I've been here for an hour. All right, my dears. I think I'm going to wrap this up. 10 order. Okay. Okay. Boom. Oh boy, in 18 minutes. Oh no.